Thank you. Can I start by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather, and I pay my respects to their elders, both past and present. To the Mayor of Hepburn Shire, Councillor Kate Redwood, and her fellow councillors here with us this evening. To Air Commodore Dr. Rowan Story, thank you for your inspiring words. To Mr. Ian Tanetti, the President of the Daylesford RSL Sub-Branch, and the many members who are here this evening. To Alistair Grant, the Captain of the Daylesford Fire Brigade, and to the many brigade members from neighbouring brigades who are also here with us this evening. To Keith Myers and his committee, and to members of the Hepburn Shire community and family. The presentation of two plaques remembers 9 CFA volunteers whose young lives were interrupted by a devastating war a century ago. I'd like to acknowledge the families of 3 of those volunteers who are here tonight, the relatives of Vincent Wallace, Archibald Campbell and Ivor Harris. The plaques were made possible through the Anzac100 local grants program and work with the Daylesford Fire Brigade. Their successful grant allows the brigade to erect a picture storyboard featuring short biographies and photographs of these men outside the fire station as a permanent public memorial, and I know many of you will visit them. It's a testament to the volunteers of the Daylesford CFA that they so wanted to remember their fellow volunteers from 100 years ago, that they've taken the time and the care to uncover their stories, and I particularly want to acknowledge Robert Taylor in that work. We're here to honour 9 CFA volunteers who were listed and who were wounded or killed in action, who came from this community. 4 men who gave their lives were Bob Anderson, a salesman at Walton's for the Vincent Street Draper. He was 24 and in the first group of Daylesford men who enlisted shortly after the war started, serving in the 7th Battalion. He was killed at Gallipoli in April 1915, most likely on the first day. Bob is noted to have been a member of the local football team, a clever player for his high marking, smart fireman. He had served previously in the Australian Light Horse at Preswick and was greatly liked and respected there. Then he took up residence in Daylesford and he made many friends. Vincent Wallace attended Daylesford Primary School, becoming a gardener and a miner, and was one of Daylesford's noted footballers. He enlisted aged 24 in July 1915, and his mother, Elizabeth Wallace, lived in West Street. Hospitalised in Egypt in March 1916 from a wound to his leg, he arrived in northern France in early July 1916. On the 16th of July, a small pro forma card sent to his Daylesford family reads, "I'm quite well. I received your letter dated 20th of March. Letter follows first opportunity. I have received no letter from you lately." Tragically, 3 days later, he was thrown into the attack of criminals and was killed in action on the night of the 19th to 20th of July 1916. Research also uncovered that Vincent's cousin, Horace Hubert Simpson, blacksmith rose to the rank of lieutenant in the 21st Australian Infantry Battalion. His parents lived in Stanbridge Street, and he used to write football notes in the Advocate under the pen name You and Me. 3 of his brothers also served in the war. Horace was killed in France on the 14th of April 1916 while leading a raid in Daylesford. Archibald Campbell worked as a railway porter in Geelong and his mother lived in Raglan Street. He was killed in action in France in September 1917. We are also here to remember Ivor Francis Harris, a commercial traveller wounded in action in France in August 1916 and hospitalised in England until March 1917. He returned to France where he was wounded a second time. He arrived back in Melbourne in September 1919. Albert Roy Kutcher, a grocer whose mother lived in Miller Street, Daylesford. James Henry Robertson, a plumber, and his apprentice brother David Norman Robertson. And finally, Albert Tremaine, a blacksmith whose mother lived here in Vincent Street. 100 years ago seems a long time, but when we reflect on these stories and we walk the same streets, it seems just a blink of an eye. You can imagine these boys who would have known each other, played football on the same fields and roamed the same streets, who shared history and stories of home. Volunteer firefighters all, travelling as if on a great adventure to foreign lands. 4 never to return, and to find return changed forever. Their families in grief, their loves lost and lives changed forever. We remember them because they are part of who we all are, a part of our home and a part of our story here in this community in Daylesford. And it is my great honour to present some plaques to Ian Tinetti, the President of the Daylesford RSL Sub-Branch, and to Alistair Grant, the Captain of the Daylesford Fire Brigade, as a permanent reminder of these men who lived and loved in this community.